This is Family Life Update, and I'm Maricel Badilla.
I'm Bianca Helido, and here are this week's top news on family and life.
In the Philippines, Bullies Beware. One of the bills that are awaiting President Aquino's signature of approval is the Anti-Bullying Act. Finally, that's true. Earlier this month, the Senate and the House of Representatives approved the bill that would prohibit bullying in elementary and secondary schools throughout the country.
That's good news.
You know, I think this bill is good because a lot of people are bullied in school. I mean, it's a normal act. It's becoming a normal act that we see in grade schools, in high schools, and my friends have been bullied.
Yes.
Have you any experience with that?
Yes, and I actually have a confession to make. I was the bully when I was.
Oh, you were enemy.
When I was in school, but at that time, of course, if you're young, you want to belong, you want to be cool, and you think that being a bully, being laughed when people laugh with you, you think that you're cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But I realize now that I'm a parent. I realize that that's not cool at all. If you see your own child almost bullied, because I witnessed that in my daughter's school, and it's a good thing I was there. This 2-year-older boy was trying to push her down the slide, so it's a good thing I was there. I screamed at the I screamed at the kid.
Now this bill that we're talking about, because when people say they laugh at you, this bill defines acts of bullying in schools and authorizes institutions to impose sanctions on student bullies. So it empowers the DepEd to penalize schools that do not stop bullying or sanction student bullies.
That's
so
good. Hopefully, it's about time that
the things that
you've
done and what your daughter experienced will be able
almost
to
experience
will be able to be addressed.
Yes, and outgoing Senator Edgardo Angara, the chairman of the Committee on Education, Arts and Culture and sponsor of the bill, said that there is no reason for school authorities and societies to tolerate bullying.
And that is a good point that he made.
Because, of course, we all know that it traumatizes and in extreme cases, even drive children to suicide. He cited the findings of a research which showed that at least 1/3 of the students in the Philippines, or that's about 2.5 million children, were actually physically abused, physically or verbally bullied.
You know, there's that video on YouTube, I don't know if you've seen it, where that bullied kid fights back. I think it was Australia or something. He kept on being bullied because of his weight, and he suddenly fought back and he grabbed the kid and he threw it on his, pounced him on his knee, and it was really shocking because you can see that all kids have a breaking point, and hopefully this bill will be able to stop those things from happening here.
And on other news, still in the Philippines, annulments are on a decline.
That must be good news.
Definitely good news. According to retired Archbishop Oscar Cruz, who is also the head of the Catholic Church's National Appellate for Matrimonial Tribunal, the number of annulment cases nationwide is declining by at least 10 to 15% over the years. The former president of the CBCP revealed that majority of couples seeking to nullify their marriages are from the urban centers like Metro Manila.
Cruz also acknowledged that while the Church has observed a declining number of annulment petitions filed with it, the number of cases filed with the courts has not gone down. Cruz also noted that fewer annulment cases were being filed before the Church because many couples have opted for cohabitation or to live together without marriage.
Okay, no wonder.
Yeah, it's not such good news after all.
I thought it was going up.
Yeah. Well, we hope that people get more serious when getting into marriage, but it appears that we need more preparation for people. I mean, it's not a testing ground to live together and see whether you want to get married or not. Marriage is such a sacred thing that you have to go and prepare, but living together is not the solution to that.
And I think with the society today and our friends, people our age, men and women our age, couples our age, they think that it's a testing ground. It's a good way to discover if you have chemistry, whether sexual or emotional chemistry and all that. So they think that cohabitation or living in is a better idea than tying yourself in marriage.
But they don't know that the best thing to do is to wait till you get married. And when you get married, have all the fun that you want. I've been married almost 7 years this year. 4 kids,
We
and going
celebrated
strong.
5 years.
Congratulations.
Oh, last month.
That's great. Okay, moving on to news in other parts of Asia. India is soon to be the world's most populous nation.
Wow.
There are already a lot, and there's still going to be more. With a current population of 1.2 billion people and 75,000 newborns per day, India is preparing to become the most populous country in the world. According to the forecast of the United Nations, by 2030, the South Asian giant will overtake China, whose birth rate is declining because of their one-child policy. It's really surprising that China is actually going to be overtaken by India, the 2 billion population countries fighting out for number 1.
And that's where you see the effect of
Population
the
control,
population
exactly, which they're trying to do here. It's crazy.
And India's population will continue to grow until the middle of the century, while China slowly declines. The UN also estimates that the current global population of 7.2 billion will reach 9.6 billion by 2050. The population growth will be mainly in developing countries, particularly in Africa, the UN says. And do you wonder why it will happen in developing countries?
Because
I'm
more
sure you
people
know.
are having babies.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think you know that because you're the expert in pro-life.
Yeah, I love people. I have 4 kids. And I've been to Africa, and there's a lot of land. I mean, even here in the Philippines, you go to the provinces, there's a lot of land. So you can't
So it's
say
not
that
really
it's not
overpopulation.
overpopulation.
Yes.
Maybe in the urban centers, yes, because we haven't developed the provinces. But if you go to the provinces, it's all empty. Now on the lighter side, we bring you a featured topic for this week. Let's hear it from Maricel Badilla.
Thank you, Javi and Bianca. Tonight, we bring you a very interesting feature, Back to School at Homeschool. Although homeschooling is considered by many as something new, it has been practiced for many generations. Homeschooling here in the Philippines, let me tell you more about it. Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and Abraham Lincoln. They're all very popular and accomplished, and they're just a few of the many products of homeschools. The homeschool movement has also caught on here in the Philippines, and let me tell you the reasons why some parents have decided to homeschool their kids. First, homeschooling allows parents to take back the primary responsibility of teaching their children. We are able to customize our approach, our activities, and the pace to meet the individual needs of our children. Second, homeschooling provides a relaxed and nurturing environment that is more attuned to the personality of the students. Third, we as parents are able to focus on our child's unique gifts. If our children are into music, then we can expose them to a lot of musical instruments and the different genre of music, or into dance, or into sports, or they become future scientists and they like the planets and the stars. So we can look for clues as to the kids' future calling and strategize and be intentional on what activities our children can focus on. Also, homeschooling allows us to be free from the pressures of labeling, categorization, and competition that conventional schools espouses. Furthermore, in homeschooling, the family, our family, is made the focal point of the child's education and socialization. We become the major influencers in our children's life. Wouldn't you want that as parents? And as such, our children are raised to embody the values that we ourselves want to share with our children. And homeschooling, kids are rarely exposed to peer pressure, except of course when they have siblings, but nevertheless, no bullies. Children can be more experimental and adventurous as far as learning and education are concerned. They're not scared to try and to fail. Lastly, homeschooling is cheaper than the conventional school system. That affects our budget, mommies. Independent homeschoolers incur very minimal expenses. And if you do decide to go with a home education program provider, you may pay anywhere from $15,000 to $40,000 a year for each child. No uniforms and school service to pay for. Concerns on socialization, which is common, are addressed, and opportunities to socialize and interact with other children and families can be organized. You can organize this yourselves with other parents who are also homeschooling, or through the home education program provider you are affiliated with. Surely they will have activities that will allow the children to socialize and interact. Parents who would like to know more about homeschooling should first get more information about it. And there are numerous resources that are available online. Likewise, I encourage you to talk to other parents who have been doing it or who have done it, or to students themselves who are homeschooled, or from the home education program providers and other related institutions. Once you've made a decision that homeschooling is for you, then you have to decide to either do it independently, do it through a traditional school's home study program, or affiliate yourself with an education provider. Just like traditional and progressive schools, homeschooling can become a great challenge. As the parents, we ourselves know what would be best for our children. Remember, our children are God's gifts to us, and they deserve only the best. This is Maricel Badilla for Family and Life Update. Now, I turn you over back to Javi and Bianca.
Thank you, Sel.
You know, Bianx, homeschooling is really an issue that people are talking about. Would you ever consider homeschooling?
Well, if you ask me for the first time, I'll be scared. But after a while, you ask yourself, who wouldn't want to be with your kids 24 hours a day or 7 days a week, right? If the finances allow or if your time allows, why not?
I think I'm all for homeschooling. I would really want to do it, but I don't think I can do it right now. But you know, it's something worth considering.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, to each his own. Wherever you feel that you can show your love for your kids or you can support your family, then that's where you should go.
Amen to that. That's it this week. Read more about these stories at familyandlifeupdate.com. We're on Facebook too. Just search for Family and Life Update. And on Twitter, it's official FLiQ.
Thanks for watching us. Share the word about us. Family and Life Update.
Know the issues, make a stand, follow Family and Life Update. And our quote for this week by Blessed John Paul II, "The future of humanity passes by way of the family." That's it for this week. Good night. See you next week.